So smart on his part, but I'm wondering why he hasn't moved into attack with his Mutalisks yet. And I do have my own Spire up right now, so I'm going to get a couple of Mutas of my own. And here comes my opponent's Mutas. He quickly moves away, so he doesn't lose any of his Mutalisks there, which is key. Every Mutalisk you lose, that's a lot of resources in the bank. 100 minerals, 100 gas, it's a huge investment. And that's why you want to micro those fragile units, because it can do a lot of damage to the economy. But likewise, it can die very easily as well. And here we go, my opponent moving into my natural, and luckily I've got Hydras there, and I actually focus fired the two frontmost Mutalisks that had no life left, taking them down, so my opponent takes a big hit right there. And as you guys can see, researching armor level 1, carapace level 1 for my ground units, at the same time getting some more gas at my natural, because I do need gas if I'm going to go for this Mutalisk build. And I guess this is kind of like a all units kind of build, going Roaches first and then Hydras, and using them to kind of defend, and then eventually going Mutalisks. I'm not going to say that this is the build to go, probably not the best build to go, but I think this game showcased some pretty exciting moments, so just stay tuned as the game will unfold, and it is going to get a little better. But as you guys can see, I am just kind of building up, macroing up, getting gas in both expansions, and kind of just spreading the drones out for right now. And here we go, my opponent is deciding to move out, and he's got a pretty large force, so I'm thinking to myself, hey, I could go in with my own Mutalisk and attack his economy meanwhile, but then I realized if I do that, I'm probably not going to be able to defend my base, and I'll probably lose, so I've got to defend right here. And I even got my queen up in the mix as well, my opponent getting on my creep, so he gets a movement speed bonus, and he's got so many roaches. I'm not sure how he had so many roaches. I suppose he just decided to stop the mute attack and just pump straight out roaches, and this is bad for me. All I've got is Mutalisks in the air right now. He just essentially annihilated all my roaches and Hydras with that massive roach army. And so my opponent, what he did was, burrow too. He's got the burrow tech. So I do have to bring my Overseer in, but my opponent essentially, after he realized I had Hydras, stopped pumping out Mutas and just used all of his economy for roaches, and he is capturing a natural right now as well. I'm in big trouble. I'm going to lose my natural meanwhile, so I might just lose this game, guys. I've got some Mutalisks in the air right now, and that's great and all, but as I've said before, roaches come out with 2 armor, which means they have more armor than an Ultralisk does when it first spawns, and so a Mutalisk does absolutely no damage to a roach. As you guys can see, I do have a lot of Mutalisks in the air, and it's taking forever to kill off these roaches, and now my main is under attack as well. This is just bad for me, and he does have, still using that burrow, and I'm trying to find my Overseer to bring him in to deal with these roaches, and this is just bad because I'm not doing any damage to my opponent's base, and meanwhile I've lost my natural, and I'm not mining at all at my main. And here comes my Overseer, allowing me to see these roaches if they do decide to burrow. But as you guys can see on the minimap, more roaches are coming in and attacking my natural, so I realized that my base is a lost cause right now, and I'm just going to have to go in with my Mutalisks and try to do some damage. Meanwhile, I do have Zerglings moving to the natural expansion, so I'm going to try for a 2-pronged counterattack here, but my opponent wisely has a Corruptor and about 5 or 6 Hydras and a Queen as well. This is going to be tough for my Mutalisks to deal with, but luckily I did have about 12, so I lost about 5 or 6 right there, and I'm going to take out this Corruptor as well, and more Hydralisks spawning under the hatchery. Meanwhile, my Zerglings taking out all of the drones at the natural. So right now, as you guys can see, both of us kind of trying to kill each other. The only problem is roaches are very good against buildings, and Mutalisks are not good against buildings. They take forever to kill off a building. So I'm in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, more Hydralisks are spawning for my opponent, and so I've got to micro the Mutalisks that are weak away from the Hydras. And as you guys can see, my APM right now, not the best. Kind of just playing in awe right now as the game unfolds. Not really sure what's going to happen. And I've kind of almost resigned myself to defeat here. I've only got 3 Mutalisks now. And now my hatchery, my lair is going to go down. I don't have anything to defend against that. I have no income whatsoever. All the units I have right now in the air end the game. That's what I've got. And another Mutalisk goes down, not able to micro. So all I've got in the game right now is one Mutalisk, and I do have 3, as you guys can see on the overlay. And so I do have 3 Mutalisks over my opponent's base, and that is it. I have nothing else. My opponent does have a Hydra. He's focus firing the one that's weak, so I'm pulling it out. But meanwhile, my main base is under attack. I am going to lose all of my buildings, and so this is bad. But I've realized that my opponent actually isn't building anything else from his eggs, from his larva, and he doesn't have any more drones mining. So perhaps right now is the time to go and defend with my Mutalisks. And if I can kill off all these roaches, there's a chance that I could win this game. So I am going to pull back all of my Mutalisks and defend against these roaches. And I do have an Overseer overhead to see if they do burrow as well. And my opponent has no units that can attack the air. I see that the larva at his hatchery is not morphing into anything, which means he probably has no more minerals. So could I win this game? This is going to be amazing if I can come back. The Mutalisk, 2 Mutalisks against 1 roach. That means that roach is eventually going to die. There is a Zergling coming in as well. And yeah, my opponent has nothing to defend against this. He has no minerals or gas to build any units. And so there is an egg morphing right now. I'm not sure what is going to come out of that. But I don't think my opponent is going to be able to produce anything. It is a drone. It's a drone. So that's all he's got. And I can just kill off the drone easily once I get my Overseer in place to detect the burrow drone. But as you guys can see, I'm kind of just playing like, holy crap, how did I win this game? And I'm just kind of like playing in shock and awe, and there's the drone, gonna kill it off. And my opponent has no more intake, so that is it. My opponent probably at the same time is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I lost. But let me just backtrack and say that the reason why I won this game, the main reason is because this map is just so strong for air. As no doubt you guys seen so many times before. Air units are super strong on this map. And even in a Zerg vs. Zerg, although Hydras and Roaches are the metagame right now, trust me, just try out Mutalisks. They are just so strong, as you guys saw right there. Going for the counterattack with the Mutalisks, and my opponent had nothing to stop it. He couldn't pull back his forces because it's so far away to pull back. And yeah, my opponent announces GG as he realizes there's nothing he can do to come back. And I win the game with 2 extractors and a spire in my base, and that is it. That's all the buildings I had left. And my opponent even says it was a close game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Really close battle. And look forward to more games to come, guys. So thanks a lot for all the help and support. And Las Vegas was fun. And more games to come soon. HG Starcraft signing out.